This is how I make a pot roast dinner from my food storage. I'm going to make pot roast, potatoes and carrots, green beans, cinnamon apples, and biscuits. The first thing that I do is turn the oven on to 375 degrees. I open a jar of pot roast and pour it into a baking pan. Then I open a jar of potatoes and carrots, drain them, and add them to the pan. I sprinkle it with a little salt and pepper, and then put the pan in the oven. The pot roast and the potatoes and carrots were fully cooked during the canning process. All I'm doing is heating them up. I put about 1/3 of a quart jar of dehydrated apples in a pot along with some water, and I put some green beans in another pot to heat up. To make the biscuits, I put some Bisquick in a bowl, and I found that when I vacuum seal Bisquick in jars, the biscuits turn out drier and heavier, so I add a little shortening to remedy that. I thoroughly blend in the shortening, then I add some milk that I made from powdered milk. I form a stiff dough, turn it out onto a floured surface, and then knead it until smooth. I cut the biscuits out, put them in a pan, and put them in the oven. When the apples have fully rehydrated, I add 1/3 cup of sugar and some cinnamon. While I'm waiting for the biscuits to get done, here's a good tip for people who are short. I'm only 5 feet tall, so the whatever I put on the top shelves is pretty much out of my reach, but I found I don't have any problem at all pulling a pitcher off the top of the shelf. So I keep my flour, my sugar, and stuff stored in pitchers up on the top shelves, and I can easily take them down and put them back. When the biscuits are just about done, I pour the broth from the pot roast into a pot and bring it to a boil. I mix 3 tablespoons of cornstarch with a little cold water, then I add it to the broth and stir it constantly until it thickens into a gravy. I also add a little of the cornstarch to the apples to thicken that sauce. The biscuits are done and it's time to eat. As you can see, the pot roast is very tender. That's all there is to it. It takes about 20 minutes to come up with a complete pot roast dinner. Beats the heck out of eating Spam.